What you are about to hear is a rumor. Let me say that again. What you are about to hear is a rumor, but it is a rumor that has consumed global social media for the past week, triggered a formal denial from the Israeli government, sent fact-checkers scrambling across 3 continents, and convinced millions of people around the world that one of the most powerful heads of state on earth might be dead. We are talking, of course, about the claim spreading wildly online right now that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was killed in an Iranian missile strike. We want to be crystal clear from the top of this video. Multiple fact-checkers, the Israeli government, and international news outlets have rated this claim as false, but the rumor is so widespread, so layered with circumstantial details, and so deeply intertwined with one of the most dangerous military conflicts the Middle East has seen in decades that simply saying it's false is not enough. You deserve to understand exactly what the claim is, where it came from, what evidence people are pointing to, and what the verified facts actually say. So, let's dig in. To understand the rumor, you first need to understand the war it was born inside. On February 28, 2026, the United States and Israel launched a surprise joint strike on Iran, assassinating Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, killing other Iranian officials, and damaging military bases, government facilities, schools, hospitals, and cultural heritage sites. In retaliation, Iran launched hundreds of drones and ballistic missiles at targets in Israel and at U.S. military bases across Bahrain, Jordan, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates. This was not a skirmish. This was full-scale war. The United States and Israel continued to carry out attacks as the war entered its 18th day. Iran retaliated by launching massive missile and drone barrages toward Israel and by attacking neighboring Gulf countries. Unlike earlier strikes, the current conflict spread across at least a dozen countries, closed the Strait of Hormuz, the world's major oil artery, and killed more than 2,300 people in the region. Iran confirmed that several of its senior military figures had been killed in Israeli attacks, including Abdolrahim Mozaveh, Chief of Staff of Iran's armed forces, Aziz Nazizadeh, Defense Minister and Deputy Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, and Mohammad Pakpor, Ayarjishi Commander in Chief. The political and military leadership of Iran was being systematically targeted, and that almost inevitably raised a question that would flip the whole conversation on its head. Was Israel's own leadership in the crosshairs? Was Netanyahu a target? And if so, had Iran succeeded? Here's where the story gets complicated and where we need you, the viewer, to stay sharp and critical. In March 2026, a widespread rumor circulated online claiming that an Iranian missile attack had killed Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The claim gained significant traction across social media platforms. In recent days, information has been constantly circulating on the internet about the death of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and several other senior Israeli officials and military personnel after allegedly being hit by an Iranian missile. This is evidenced, claim the rumor's proponents, by numerous circumstantial details, including the absence of public television appearances. Let's go through those claimed pieces of evidence one by one, because this is important. Netanyahu has been absent from cabinet meetings. Netanyahu's absence from 7 consecutive cabinet meetings renewed speculation on social media about his well-being, with some users claiming the Israeli leader may have died during the ongoing U.S.-Israel-Iran conflict. Over the past 2 days, Israeli Defense Minister Yisrael Katz twice held open meetings of the Israeli Security Cabinet instead of Netanyahu. That sounds significant on the surface. But here's the context. Wartime security protocols frequently shift who chairs meetings for operational security reasons. The Israeli government has not offered a specific explanation for this, But the absence alone is not evidence of anything beyond a schedule change. Netanyahu's social media accounts have gone quiet since February 28th, when the U.S. and Israel launched joint strikes on Iran. The 75-year-old PM has mainly used video addresses. He has visited towns hit by Iranian missiles, a hospital, and military bases. But journalists have had little access. Even his first press briefing was via video link on March 12th. Netanyahu's personal and government accounts on the networks are silent. There are no new posts on the accounts of Benjamin Netanyahu's son, Jair Netanyahu. Jair Netanyahu, a Twitter addict who usually posts 30 to 35 times a day, had not posted on X since March 9th. Again, significant sounding, but there are plenty of explanations. Wartime communication blackouts, security restrictions, and media coordination all routinely restrict what leaders and their families post online. A Trump envoy visit was reportedly canceled. A visit to Israel to meet Netanyahu by two personal representatives of Donald Trump, Stephen Witkoff and Jared Kushner, was canceled. During a recent interview with U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent at the White House, he was suddenly called to the Oval Office, from where he returned after a while. The latter detail about Treasury Secretary Bessent went viral and was seized upon as proof that something dramatic had happened. But a Treasury Secretary being pulled from an interview for a meeting at the Oval Office is a Tuesday in Washington. That one detail really illustrates how rumors snowball. A perfectly routine event gets packaged with other suggestive details, and suddenly it looks like a pattern. Now we get to the most explosive and most viral piece of the rumor. And this is the part that tells us something really important about how information warfare works in 2026. The rumor cycle intensified in early March 2026, when a video message from Netanyahu circulated on social media during heightened military tensions between Israel and Iran. Within hours, users on platforms like X and Telegram zoomed into a single frame of the video and claimed the Israeli leader appeared to have 6 fingers on his right hand, a common artifact associated with AI-generated imagery. Social media users noticed something odd in one image. Netanyahu's left hand appeared distorted, with some claiming it showed 6 fingers. Generative AI tools often struggle to draw human hands correctly. Another widely shared image from the press meeting showed extra flesh near his little finger, which users called a classic AI finger glitch. Now here's where it gets interesting. When users asked AI platform Grok whether the coffee shop video released by Netanyahu was genuine. When some users asked AI platform Grok whether the coffee video was genuine, the platform said it could have been AI generated, a response that added momentum to the speculation. Grok later appeared to walk back that assessment in response to a separate prompt. So an AI tool gave an ambiguous answer about a video, and that ambiguity was immediately cited as proof the video was fake. That is not how proof works. That is how rumors work. Digital analysts reviewing the footage concluded something different. The supposed 6th finger likely resulted from camera angle, hand positioning, and lighting, not artificial intelligence. Fact checkers and AI tools debunked the 6-finger illusion as a camera angle effect and confirmed Netanyahu is alive, dismissing death claims as misinformation. The 6-finger story is a perfect case study in how a visual artifact, something as mundane as the way light hits a hand, can be transformed in an information-starved wartime environment into what feels like hard evidence of a global cover. Here's a detail worth examining carefully. What has Iran actually said about all this? Iran's Revolutionary Guards issued a statement saying they would continue pursuing Netanyahu if the criminal and child killer Netanyahu is still alive. That conditional phrasing, if he is still alive, was immediately interpreted by many online as Iran implying they had already killed him. But read it carefully. Iran's use of conditional language is equally consistent with a threat as it is with a confirmation. If Iran had successfully assassinated the sitting Prime Minister of Israel, one of the most significant acts of political violence in the history of the modern Middle East, they would almost certainly be broadcasting that loudly and unambiguously. The fact that they haven't is telling. This is another hallmark of how misinformation spreads. An ambiguous statement by an adversarial government, one with every reason to want people to believe it had succeeded, gets read as a confirmation rather than a threat. Let's go through what verified, credentialed fact-checking organizations have actually concluded. Snopes, Times of Israel, and other outlets rated the claim that Netanyahu was killed in an Iranian missile attack as false. Reuters reported that Netanyahu posted a video directly in response to the Iran rumors that he was dead. A fact check from the Palestine Chronicle found that there was no confirmed evidence that Netanyahu was incapacitated or unable to perform his duties. At this stage, publicly available evidence indicated that Netanyahu continued to issue statements through official government channels and social media. Iranian officials had threatened the Israeli prime minister but had not confirmed having targeted or harmed him. Online claims about AI-generated videos remained unverified. On the evening of March 2nd, Netanyahu appeared on Fox News in a live interview addressing the regional conflict. During the broadcast, he stated that the war with Iran would not be an endless war and emphasized Israel's objective of neutralizing nuclear threat. Live interviews during an international broadcast cycle effectively debunked the hospitalization or death rumors at that stage. The Israeli ambassador to India, Ruvan Azar, confirmed that Netanyahu is alive and involved in military discussions and strategy. Netanyahu's office has been direct in its response. A statement confirmed the prime minister is well and described the death rumors as false. Grok confirmed Benjamin Netanyahu is alive and active as Israel's PM. He issued public statements as recently as March 12, 2026, and continues leading operations in the ongoing Israel-Iran conflict. So, if multiple credible organizations have rated this false, if Netanyahu's office has denied it, if live videos and interviews exist, why does the rumor keep spreading? That's the most important question we can ask, and the answer tells us something uncomfortable about the current information environment. The deeper lesson from this episode isn't about a single viral video. It's about the new battlefield of modern geopolitics. Information itself. As artificial intelligence tools become more powerful, the line between authentic footage and fabricated media will grow increasingly blurry. And in moments of crisis, especially during wars, misinformation can travel faster than truth. The recent rumors were fueled by wartime messaging, strategic psychological operations, and rapid social media amplification. Think about the incentive structure at play here. Iran benefits from uncertainty about whether its strikes have succeeded. Foreign adversaries benefit from chaos inside Israeli political social media algorithms reward outrage and uncertainty over settled facts. And in a war where genuine and verified horrors, the deaths of thousands of real people, are happening every single day, the idea that even more dramatic things are being hidden from us doesn't feel That is exactly the environment in which disinformation thrives. The statement from Netanyahu's office has not satisfied those convinced by the online speculation, with some social media users continuing to ask why Netanyahu has not made a live public appearance to address the claims directly. That's a fair demand, frankly. And it's one that the Israeli government, which has every right to cite wartime security restrictions, should seriously consider addressing, not because the rumor is true, but because transparency is itself a form of strategic communication. Let's also apply a basic logic test. If Netanyahu had actually been killed, what would we expect to see? There is no evidence of a successful Netanyahu assassination attempt. If such an event had occurred, Israel's constitutional system would immediately activate emergency procedures. The cabinet would appoint an acting prime minister immediately, the government would be considered legally resigned, the president would consult political parties, and a coalition formation process would begin. If unsuccessful, elections would be called. Israel operates under a parliamentary system, meaning governance continues under structured legal procedures. None of these constitutional mechanisms have been triggered. No acting prime minister has been announced. The Israeli Knesset has not been convened for emergency succession proceedings. The country's constitutional machinery remains in its ordinary wartime configuration. Netanyahu remains at the helm in Israel, his hands 5 fingers apiece, firmly on the levers of power. Let me bring this home. We are living through one of the most dangerous and information-saturated conflicts the Middle East has seen in modern memory. Real people are dying. Real missiles are flying. Real decisions with generational consequences are being made in bunkers and war rooms. And in the middle of all of that, the rumor that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu died in an Iranian strike has spread to hundreds of millions of people. The verdict? Based on all available verified evidence. This is a rumor. It is false. Netanyahu is alive. But the reason we made this video isn't just to debunk a conspiracy theory. It's to slow you down, to show you the mechanics of how a rumor is born, a missed cabinet meeting, a silent social media account, a canceled diplomatic visit, a hand that catches light in a weird way, and how in wartime, those ordinary events get assembled into an extraordinary claim. The next time you see a viral claim about a world leader during a crisis, ask yourself, who benefits from this story? What is the primary source? Has it been verified by multiple independent organizations? And has the government in question actually been given a chance to respond? Verifying sources, checking official statements, and understanding how digital manipulation works are now essential skills for anyone following global news in 2026. We live in the deep fake era. That doesn't mean everything is fake. It means we have to be more careful, more patient, and more rigorous than ever before. Stay informed, stay skeptical, and we'll see you in the next one.